What's up guys? So we are going to be making a new bench, new workbench, and it's going to double as my outfeed table and a bit of a workbench and that sort of thing. It's also going to go against the wall, so to keep out of the way. So we're going to go through the design process. I've got a bit of an idea in my mind, but you always put it down on paper, see what you like the look of, see what you don't, before you start cutting into actual timbers. So plan, preparation, measures, all these sorts of things vital before you start anything else. Sorry about the rain, you'll probably hear a lot of rain noise. It is a terrible weekend this weekend, so long weekend, Queen's birthday. Where else would you be than in the shop doing stuff you love? Sweet. Anyway, let's have a look at this. Got a pen this time, no Carter's pencil, but the idea is, or initially, this is our wall. Our door here. Our window here. Our bench is going to come across here, down here. Now we're going to be 3.6 meters. We like metric. Metric's good. Metric saves hassle. None of this 5 and 16th or 30 seconds or anything like that. As much as I love you, America, but and all your wonderful chippies, but millimeters is best. And meters. Metric all the way. Anyway, 3.6 meters long. Then it's going to be, the height of that is going to be the height of my table saw. So my table saw is on X's, like that. So whatever the height of that is going to be the height of that. If not, about 5 mil lower, just a touch lower. So that when this bench rolls, because it's going to have casters, when it rolls underneath, we want it to be on the same size, so when we pass timbers through, the timbers run through, and that will work. And it's also a good height bench. This here is just a little bit too low to work on, as you can see me reaching over it, things like that. So 3.6 long, but that's not the actual full length of the table. The actual bench is going to be 2.4. So it's going to be 2.4 long. And you're going to have a 1200 piece here. Okay. This piece here is going to be on legs, and it's not going to be movable. Not really, like it could be if it really needed to be, but the other one is definitely going to be mobile. It's going to be on big heavy casters, and yeah, it's going to be built to move around and to be a workbench. Okay, so it's going to be that height, and the width is going to be 800, or probably about 790 by the time I'm finished. Main reason for that is I've got a 2.4 by 1200 sheet of ply that's going to be my top, and for 3.6 long, so that's 3 at 1200 long out of 2.4, so that gives you 800, 3 rips on the sheet, 800 long each, and they'll go sideways. So basically across the top of the workbench, yeah, across the top, we have 1 sheet, 2 sheets, 3 sheets. Or 790 by the time that we've done our cuts and things like that, because ripping down and stuff, it'll bring the measurements down a little bit. So that'll be that. And it probably won't be exactly 3.6, it'll probably be about 5 or 10 mil under that because of the rips. Oh, no, it might actually be 3.6, but it'll be about 7.90. Just got to allow for cuts on the table saw because the sheet's actually 2.4 exactly by 1200. When you're cutting it down, you're losing 2 mil each time. So those sorts of things you've got to take into account. Just got to think about those sorts of things, those sorts of details. So I've got a rough idea in my brain, that's why I'm doing this. So yeah, no more talking, it's time for a time lapse so that I can actually think. So, she's clear, she's ready to be demoed, but whenever doing sort of demo and things like that, you must be aware of services. As you can see right there, that is our main switchboard. And we have lights, we have power, and more power, as well as an alarm sensor and wires running across the top of there. So, main things to have is a volt tester and making sure that you're careful. So with the switchboard, we can switch things off and make sure that we're not touching anything. And if you're going to handle something, make sure you've got rubber gloves, make sure you're using something that is rubber on the end of it, and if in doubt, don't do it. Because electricity hurts. So, yep, just got to be careful and think about what you're doing. Don't just rip into things, especially with building, renovation, anything like that where there's services involved. Plumbing, it's okay because you get a bit of water. Water's not going to hurt you. Power, oh yeah, that'll hurt. So you just got to be careful, think about what you're doing, don't damage the existing things. But yeah. Man, you find some weird stuff in walls, I tell you. I just opened that up. And this, does anyone know what this is? Because it took me a little bit, I had to read these instructions. It is a mini flare. So this is for safety or for when you get lost out in the wilderness. You would get this and you would screw it onto one of these and you'd pull it out and you'd set it back and then you hit the button and it sends a flare out. So if you get lost in the bush, this is really, really, really good. This would save your life. So random to find that in the wall. Pretty cool, but pretty random. It was just there, just in behind the power box. That is incredible, just over there. You can see it when I far out. That's pretty cool. So yeah, one of these will save your life if you go in the bush or anywhere. That is cool. Alright. It's a little bit dark in here because I've had to kill all the power. So we've got a fuse box here for the garage and we've also got one in the house. So just went in the house and killed all the power that runs out here. So nothing's at risk. So we've got our volt tester here. Typically when anything's on it'll give me a beep. I can't give you a this is my little light. But typically it'll give me a real big warning. So, nothing there, nothing on our power. This is our big main power line here. There's nothing coming through any of that. No power whatsoever. So, we are good to proceed. So I've just got to take that box off the wall, take that off the wall, put it somewhere temporarily, just sit it there somewhere temporarily, and then we can rip off all the rest of this and get a bit of a plan together. And then yeah, once I know I'm not going to be touching any more wires, I can turn everything back on. But yeah, we'll just work in the dark for a little bit, we'll get a work light out and go from there. Right here is pretty much why I bought this house. Reason being is that anyone who takes the time to draw out their tools and has tools in their garage and goes to this sort of detail, any work that they've done on their house would have been done properly. So, any renovations, any water tightness, any leaking, yeah, anything like that, especially there's a deck outside. The guy's actually laid it on a 45-degree angle, which is really cool, and you don't see it very often, but it just goes to show the level of attention to detail the previous owner had. So that's literally one of the reasons I bought it, was when I walked into this garage and I saw this. It's a sign of someone who pays attention and takes their time with things, which is good. Either that, or he wants to get away from the wife. Oh, I'm busy in the garage, love. Drawery, drawery. But I would say it was the latter. So, we've basically cleaned up our framing. Our wiring's still hanging all over the place, so obviously that's still dead. There's no power whatsoever coming to this garage. If you're not confident about these sorts of things, I definitely wouldn't recommend doing it if you don't have trade skills or a little bit of know-how, because yeah, there's no coming back. So yeah, don't electrocute yourself. If you're not sure, call a Sparky, get someone in to do it for you. But yeah, if you have an RCD and if you have a switch at your main house, there's no real problem. It's just entirely up to what you're comfortable with doing. I have a brother-in-law who's a Sparky, so I've learned a few tricks off him, and I know what to do and what not to do, as well as being in the trade for many years. So there's things that I know that I can do as a builder. Yeah, cheers.